Thank you very much. First of all, thanks everyone for joining this webinar. My name is Ioannis. I'm a solution engineer from LONGi. I'm going to do a brief presentation about our new products so you get an idea of LONGi entrance in the C&I field. I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what LONGi wants to do is to offer a unique solution, combining, of course, solar and storage. Of course, LONGi is a known solar company, now entering the storage business. So this is, the vision of LONGi. With the acquisition of recent company Potised, so we have integrated with LONGi. We have 13 years of experience in ESS industry, so through the acquired company, and you can see so far we have shipped 13 gigawatt hours of products, and planning to increase our capacity by 2028 by adding 100 gigawatt hour more. Here you can see a brief history map of the brand. So it was, let's say, Potised was the first brand to introduce a BMS solution in 2013. Some important highlights. So the ICCS solution, let's say, pattern technology that we'll talk about later, that has to do with the security of the system, with the safety of the system, and yeah, you can see it's tier one ESS manufacturer. There are some. We have a factory in China, 2 factories, and 1 factory coming up in Atlanta, US. What LONGi believes, like, what is the problem in the installations? We all know different products from different brands. It's all harder to make the solution, to make the commissioning, and also you have to communicate with different companies. So what LONGi was to do is to offer a unique solution for a complete solution for solar, for storage, and with its own EMS system, with its own monitoring platform, so that customer can have the cooperation with LONGi for all his needs. This is a family of our products so far. So we have the A215 on the left. This is an air-cooled unit. It's coming to its end of its life, so we won't be talking about it much, but we have it installed already in Europe. So then we have the 233, the L233. It's a liquid cooling unit. We still have it, and it's going to be produced. But today we're going to emphasize on the 261 HI-MO ONE Pro. You can see here the photo. This is the master cabinet, let's say, on the right, and on the left it's the, let's say, the slave cabinet. So we'll come to this later. Here you can see a roadmap of our products. So also for utility and for C&I, you can see the latest HI-MO ONE Pro that will be coming in very soon in Europe, and more products coming up. So about the L233, as we said, it's a liquid cooling system. We can have up to 5 units in one string. It's 233 kilowatt hours, and it has a PCS of 125. It's a pretty standard solution. It's highly flexible, and the difference with the new one, HI-MO ONE Pro, this is more project specific product. I mean, it can be standard solution, but it can be also very project specific, because we offer a lot of optionals. So we can have DC coupling through this battery. We can have DC coupled system, AC coupling, and it's highly flexible. We can have up to 11 slave units. So in total, it can arrive to 3 megawatt hours for this solution. And depending on the configuration, you can have up to, let's say, 24 hours of functioning, depending of how much you want to increase the capacity. Here we can see some technical data. I will emphasize on the 261. So of course, LFP technology battery cells, 314 amp hours, and 261 kilowatt hours. You can see here the master unit with the two doors and the slave unit. So on the master unit, we can have either one PCS of 125, or we can have two PCS of 250. So depending on the customer needs. And we can have only the master unit, or we can add the slave unit to increase the capacity. If we want to add the second PCS, so let's say to go to 250 kilowatts, then it's obligatory to add at least one slave unit. Slave unit is also 261 kilowatt hours. It's the same. Here we can see some more details. It is IP55, suitable for outside, for deployment outside. You can see regarding the master unit, it is liquid cooling. So liquid cooling on the battery packs, and the PCS is air cooling. Here you can see some of the optionals. We are going to talk again later. We can have MPPT to connect directly the PV panels without the inverter if we want. So we have a DC coupling. We can have ATS. So it can work with a diesel generator for backup. We can have a STS. So less than 20 milliseconds off-grid operation if we want this. This comes with the isolation transformer, which it gets inside also the cabinet. So everything is, let's say, this solution, everything we have inside the cabinet. No need to add extra equipment. Yeah, you can see it's like 4.5 tons. And the slave unit is 2.5. Here you can have a better seeing. So what can offers? So of course, you know, the arbitrage, demand management, what I've talked about, off-grid mode with STS or ATS with diesel. And we can have also the DC coupling with the MPPT. So you can see that both let's say, the master and the slave can get the MPPT if it's needed. So of course, this is optional if the customer wants. Here you can see some more details. As I've said, 261 kilowatt hours. Here is the amp hours of the cell. 125 with one PCS, 250 with the second PCS if we need it. IP55. and the transformer if we want to add the isolation transformer. So this is the master unit. Later I will share also some real photos. As you can see here, on the left side we have the battery packs, 5 battery packs. Down we have the power distribution unit. And on the right side we will have the PCS, either 1 or 2. The EMS somewhere inside there. We have our own EMS. We'll see that later. And yeah, this is the master unit. Here it's the single diagram, let's say, for this solution. If you want to have a better understanding, of course, we can share this also later. Here we can see, let's say, from right to left, we can see the functioning and the optional that we can add to the system. So here is the battery, let's say the master. Here we can have if we want, the DC coupling with the MPPT. So the MPPT is 63 kilowatts, and each cabinet, either master or slave, can have one. So we can add, let's say, up to 11 MPPT, let's say 11 strings of PV. Here is the DC-DC converter. This is obligatory if we want to have a slave. So if we want the slave unit, we have also the DC-DC converter. It's inside the cabinet. I want to comment here that also if the customer wants, he can add the more capacity later. Let's say he can start his installation with maybe 1 master unit and 1 slave. So he will have like, let's say, half megawatt hours. Yeah, 500, let's say, kilowatt hours capacity. Then he can extend in the future by adding more slave units. And also the integration of the slave units is very easy. So after this, we go to the PCS. Here you can see, after the battery, here we have the 125 kilowatt PCS. The second PCS also is optional. I should add that also we can have up to 11 slave units. This is the maximum. So yeah, the maximum is 1 master and 11 slave units. So all adds up to 3 megawatt hours of capacity. So we have the PCS, and then we come to the transformer. That is optional if we want the STS function. So less than 20 milliseconds to backup. Here you see the seamless. And here we have the grid and the loads. We can have also the AC coupling with the inverter on the AC side. So the battery can be charged either from DC coupling, let's say with PV without inverter, or it can be charged from AC coupling with inverter. So it's very flexible. Okay, I don't want to tire you more with the diagram. Here is a good example of the flexibility of the system. You can see we can have a 2-hour system with only master unit. And then by adding the slave units, we can have different C ratio options. We have 4, 6, 8 hours. It can go up to 24-hour systems. Let's say if you have all 11 slaves and the master cabinet. Here you can see, as I've told you, the PV input, then PPT optional. Each cabinet can have one. And we can have also AC coupling with the inverter. We can have diesel generator for backup. Now I want to emphasize a bit on the safety. So the LONGi is proposing the ICCS system of. It's a system that it's really unique in the market. It's a pattern technology of LONGi. Let's say it helps us to, let's say, to avoid the thermal runaway accidents in some different steps. And one important statistic is that in our installation so far we have zero thermal runaway accidents. So thanks to this system. So you can see there is like 2 steps of prediction based on its algorithm. We can have some prediction of the thermal runaway danger 3 to 6 months before, and because of this of its sensors, we have the pressure sensor. This is on top on the battery packs. So on each battery pack we have the pressure sensor and we have the leakage sensor. Apart from the current and voltage monitoring that everyone basically has this. So also in the, let's say, last minutes before the accident, the thermal runaway happens, this pressure sensor and leakage sensor will activate, and we will have then the fire suppression system to to work, so there is no further damage. Let's say no real accident. Here you can see the ICCS. It is like this plate right here. There is no cabling. It's all integrated on this platform. As I told you, it's a patent technology of LONGi. You can see here the 3 steps. It's the forecast, let's say 3 to 6 months in advance, depending on the of the incoming details it gets from the battery cells. It can identify some danger of the thermal incident, and then if really is going to happen, like 5 minutes up to 30 seconds before, we can have it will be activated to prevent the the fire actually on the cabinet. Here you can have a view of our EMS system, like our online platform. So LONGi has its own platform where we can have remote access on the installation. This is what it looks like, and yeah, it has different functions. Of course, we can read all the data from the installation. We can have some remote control, updating the devices or other functions on the battery, and of course, all the details about the production. Of course, if the customer wants, in many cases, they want to add their third-party EMS system. So fully compatible also with third-party EMS, already working in several countries with other systems. But if the customer chooses, he can use our own platform. So what LONGi is offering, apart from the technical side, we are building our team in Europe. This is what we aim for, fast commissioning, good service, fast response. So far, most of the battery units comes pre-configured, let's say, from the factory. So no need to do too many updates on site. This helps to make easier the commissioning in the yeah, we are planning to have also Adrian can talk to you about this. We are planning to have like a 24-hour hotline help desk, and of course it will be also in local language depending on the country, because we believe the after sales most important thing. And also about the spare parts strategy, we have also our warehouses in Europe, so we can ship any needed parts really fast. Here are some examples of installations we have. In Sweden, we have actually quite a lot of installations. On Italy, we have the first utility, let's say, installation in Europe, 50 megawatt hours, and quite a lot of C&I in Sweden. Here is a recent installation in Netherlands. Of course, this is the 215 unit, which is no longer available. Another installation in Romania with the, let's say, the old model. And actually, this is a photo from Intersolar. It's the new HI-MO ONE Pro. So you can have a look how it looks like also in the reality. Here you see the battery packs, the PDU. Here is the DC-DC converter that it's obligatory for the slave units, and here is the PCS. In this case, we have 2 PCS, and here is all the connections, cables coming in from here. We have the ATS, and yeah, to work with the generator. Here you can see again. Here are this is the aerosol, and this is the sensors for the fire suppression system. Of course, liquid cooling, as I've told you. And that's it. This is my presentation for the new products. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer you.
Yeah. So thank you, Yanis. It's what we need, but I have some questions and hope that also our listeners have some questions. First of all, when will be available this One Pro version? If we can offer price is based on projects, or we have some budget pricing also available. And third question is what you have already available in Europe stock, as we know you already have some 215 type.
Yes, about the new one, the HI-MO ONE Pro, from what I know, next month we'll have the first one in Europe. Maybe 30 pieces or 50, I'm not sure, but Adrian can say this. So next month, let's say, will be available. About the 215, the air cooling, I really don't know how many are left in our warehouse. So
I don't think we should discuss about the air-cooled unit anymore, because it will be no longer being produced. So we should focus on HI-MO ONE Pro, and we should focus on the 233 kilowatt-hour unit because we still have some quantities in Sweden, in Europe, but once those units are going to be sold, they're not going to be produced new ones. This is what I know about. So this is why we wanted to focus on HI-MO ONE Pro and introduce it properly and use it in the new projects. These first units that will be sold should be based on a project quotation. This is what I'm thinking right now. I mean, if your clients have have a project and wants quotation, it would be better to send the demand to you, Solargroup, and together with you, we will answer and make an offer. In the future, of course, near future, we will discuss about standard price lists that you will handle from Solargroup, and step by step, we will introduce this this product properly to Romanian market.
Aveți întrebări liniștit adresați și în română?
Da, am rămas blocat, da, ok. Putem, sigur că da.
Da, așteptăm întrebările dacă sunt.
Prezentarea, bună ziua, prezentarea m-ar interesa, poate nu am fost atent dacă s-a menționat mai devreme sau nu, dacă o putem primi și noi. Da,
sigur. We can send the presentation, Ioanis, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Ioanis, I'm very curious. So I read an article this morning that LONGi HI-MO ONE Pro, it's a winner at Intersolar on EUPD association, and they considered it the most scalable and trustable solution. LONGi is the winner for 2026 on this site with this solution. I'm curious, what is the difference? Why they considering that this solution is better than other competitors?
The scalability is very high. As I've told you also, it's like you can have a 24-hour system, so let's say long duration system. Also, the scalability, it's depending on the slave units. You can have a lot of different combinations, right? It's the slave units also can be added later. Let's say customer has more needs of higher capacity. He can add later, and it works really without any commissioning. You just add the slaves, and the master unit will recognize it and work very fast. So that's one thing. So you don't need to add another cabinet with PCS. So you have the master cabinet, and then you can you can edit, you can configure your system also later by adding more capacity. The other thing that is interesting, it can be DC couple and AC coupling, depending if the customer wants to do this. So if it is DC, he will save some money from the inverter. If it's AC, again, it's a good thing.
Let's not forget about the ICCU, Ioannis, which is a really important system that nobody has it in the market.
Safety is the most important thing when it comes to storage. And maybe it's one of the most important things, let's say.
Yeah. And I will add, I will speak in Romanian about the price part. Deci ar trebui să ne uităm ca un mare avantaj, să zici, din punct de vedere al prețului pentru un astfel de sistem master-slave, având în vedere că ai o unitate master care poate fi configurabilă, da, în funcție de necesitățile proiectului. Pe măsură ce adaugi unități noi de DC, prețul pe kilowatt-oră va scădea. pentru că nu vei mai avea și partea de AC de adăugat. Deci cu cât sistemul, cu cât vorbim de o capacitate mai mare de stocare, cu atât vorbim de un preț care pe kilowatt va scădea. Față
Aici,
de...
ca să înțeleg, scuză-mă că întrerup, ca să înțelegem mai bine, scenariul, arhitectura, în general, este că se multiplică soluția cu PCS la alți producători, unde deci plătesc în plus de fiecare dată alte periferice sau componente
Corect.
esențiale ca să funcționeze. Pe
Corect.
când aici doar vă cumpără în plus doar acel cabinet cu baterii, iar partea de comandă și de management rămân în unitatea de master și iar costurile se optimizează, ca să înțeleg.
Corect. Și din punct de vedere al distribuitorului, să spunem așa, din punct de vedere al vostru Solar Pro, voi puteți avea în stoc unitățile DC care sunt neconfigurabile, să spunem așa, sau foarte ușor configurabile. O să adauge acele MPPT pe care vorbea Ioanis mai devreme, de 63 de kW, unde poți să alegi direct panouri. Și partea de master îl poți configura pentru acel proiect și practic pe acela să-l aduci ca și eu știu, unitate nouă, să spunem așa. Poți să adaugi transformerul, poți să adaugi partea de legare a generatorului, poți să adaugi toate elementele, al doilea PCS, da, de 125 de kW, toate elementele opționale le poți configura ulterior și le aduci pentru respectivul proiect. În schimb, unitățile DC stau foarte bine în stoc și așteaptă să fie adăugate unui eventual proiect. Cam aici văd eu avantajul față de majoritatea soluțiilor de stocare în piață, care sunt aproape identice. Vorbim practic de același lucru, plus unitatea de acest ICCU de protecție, sistem de protecție, să zicem așa, un patent pe care îl are doar LONGi. Și eficiența din punct de vedere a prețului aș sublinia puternic partea asta. Am văzut niște întrebări. I saw some questions in the chat. Let's not forget. Utility storage, if we have utility storage equipment. Yes, we have. It will be a separate training. Avem soluții în zona de utility scale storage, 5 MWh în 2027, 6,25 și chiar mai mari. Dar ne vom ocupa de zona asta, să zicem, într-un webinar sau prezentare ulterioară. Nu știu dacă ratez ceva sau altă întrebare. Și da, vă pot trimite detalii pe mail. Bănuiesc că asta era ideea. Da, ok.
Bun, dacă nu mai sunt întrebări, asta a fost prezentarea și urmează să vă transmitem atunci informațiile la toți participanții și să ne auzim pentru viitoare proiecte și să le concretizăm împreună.
Sigur.
Thank you, Ioannis. That was all this presentation. And from now on, we will deliver all the information by PDF or PPT, and we're waiting for upcoming C&I requests.
Thank you very much for the hospitality and nice to meet you all. I hope we can have a cooperation in the future. Thank you.
Yes.
Mulțumim Solar Pro pentru posibilitatea de prezentare.
Mulțumim frumos.
Thank you, bye. Salut.
Bye.
La revedere. Bye bye.
La revedere. Bye.